Hello, welcome or welcome back to Hair Diaries YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a tutorial on how to do miracle knots using Empire's feather crochet human hair the feed-in way, meaning that I won't necessarily be crocheting the hair. Instead, I will be braiding it in and pulling it out. So this is how the hair looks. This is how one strand looks. There's about 48 to 50 pieces of strands per pack. And honestly, I think that you can get a pretty full look using about 3 packs, but I used 4 packs. So first, we're going to start with the first row. Now, here's what I will tell you. When you are braiding the braid, you want to make sure that the braid itself is tight. Meaning that you see how I just pulled the hair? You want to be pulling every time you braid because this style does not use any extensions. So if you braid the braid loose, there is going to be a higher chance that your braid will unloose, and you don't want that to happen. So once you add the piece in, you're going to add it in, and then you're going to braid down, and then you're going to pull it out. So you add it in, you braid down once or twice, and then you pull it out. So braiding down once or twice just makes sure that the crochet hair is locked into place and that it's not going to come out. So do you guys see how tight my braid look? Like, my braid is not a loose braid. So I'm just going to continue adding the pieces onto the braid. Now, whenever I do this style, I don't necessarily add the crochet hair to the end of the person's natural hair because I don't want their hair to break off. So I would add it close to the end, like how I'm doing right here. So you see the hair is close to the end of the braid, but it is not at the end of the braid. So I'm just going to braid down. And the reason this can work is because the hair is curly. So that's why I prefer using the curly hair. And this person's natural hair is curly as well. So when the ends of her hair gets wet, it's going to be curly and it's going to match. And because curly hair is so big and fluffy, you're not going to see it. So that's basically how I do it. I add about 3 to 4 strands of hair per braid, and I did the bricklaying method. I also want to mention, depending on the density of the person's hair, you may have to do bigger parts. If the person's density is very low, you cannot do small parts because it's going to be too much weight per braid. Instead, you want to do bigger parts because the bigger parts allow you to have more hair distribution rather than putting a small part with lots of hair on that small part, which will weigh it down. And also keep in mind that your hair is going to grow. So you don't want to make the braid too heavy, and then when the hair grows, it starts to pull the hair down because it was just too heavy to begin with. So here's another clip of me just adding the pieces. When you start to get higher to like the crown of the head, you're going to want to add the boho pieces closer to the beginning of the braid. Depending on how full your client wants their hair will determine how much strands of hair you add per braid. Because we wanted a really full look, I started off with 3 pieces and then I started doing 3 to 4 pieces per braid. If they do not want such full look, I would start off with 2 pieces in the first 2 rows and then do at least 2 to 3 pieces depending on how long they want it and how full they want it. But just pay attention to their hair and the density when it comes to adding the pieces, because placement is everything. So in the rest of this video, you'll just see me doing the method, and that's really it. It's pretty simple. Just remember to braid the braid very tight so that the braid does not become unloosed. This is how it looks with one braid above the air, and I'm just continuing the pattern and doing the bricklay all the way up to the beginning. For this style, I used a neat braid hair and 5 packs of the Empire crochet braiding hair and a crochet needle. So enjoy the rest of this video. I'll continue to pop in and out if I have anything else to say. Alrighty, so we are now officially on the top row and I have about 4 more braids to do. So for the top row, I am making sure that my parts are going to fall in between the other parts. And as you guys can see, I started with the crochet hair from the beginning because I want the hair to start falling from the root. So make sure when you are doing the top rows that you are adding the crochet hair immediately in when you braid. And also remember, towards the end you can add in more pieces with the crochet hook if you want more fullness or you want the hair to specifically be at a certain point. So that's the good part about this style. You can always go back in because the hair is feathered and it has that string in the middle. You can always go back in with the crochet hook like how I'm doing and add in more pieces to give the hair the fullness that you are looking for. So this is me just adding in the crochet pieces. As you guys can see, I wanted to add in a piece of hair right here just so that I can hide or just add more fullness in that specific area to complete the style. So that's what I mean. And whenever I use a crochet hook, I don't double it too much because when my guest takes their hair out, I want it to be easy and I don't want it to have any knots. So that's how I do it. And then I just added some water and some mousse, and that was really it. The hair doesn't require too much. Know what you guys think about this tutorial and let me know if you are going to try this style or use this hair. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Ciao.